Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the BMW i8 Roadster. I've been invited by BMW to go to Valencia to check it out, and I can't wait to see how it compares to my BMW E46 M3. Alright guys, let's see what it's all about. And those were fantastic scenes from Valencia. What an amazing press trip. Now let's go straight into the review and talk about the design elements of the car. Now the car hasn't changed fundamentally from the coupe variant. The Roadster very much has the same sort of design characteristics, and of course as we pan up on this shot you'll be able to see the roof is absolutely missing. That is what differentiates the two models. But the car is available in two finishes, one of them being new, which is the Donington Grey, which is the one that's showcased. And before, when you saw the car zooming past, that was the traditional e-copper colour. Now the car still has the dihedral doors, which are basically almost scissors type Lamborghini-esque doors which open up. They look fantastic, and yes, they still have a presence. Now if you're wondering about how the roof goes down, it goes down in a vertical fashion, as you'll be able to see right now. It's a new type of design mechanism which is developed by a BMW, and it takes just 15 to 16 seconds to come in and come out. As you'll be able to see right now, the car does look beautiful while you're driving. It's very much a premium car, but that is to be expected from a car that starts from around £124,000. That is not cheap whatsoever. So if you're looking for a premium looking car, this is absolutely it. It does turn heads and it looks beautiful, especially in the two available colours. So there's no complaints here in terms of design, the looks, and obviously the available colours and trims. Now if you're wondering about the boot space, don't be worried. This has about 35 litres more than the coupe variant. You've got around 100 litres just behind you, whilst you've got around 88 litres in the back, which equates to around 188 litres in total. You'll be able to see over here with my Bavarian looking outfit, opening the rear boot and putting in a cabin luggage. Obviously this won't fit a hold luggage, so just bear that in mind. If you're going to be going on a long journey trip, then you'll be out of luck. In order to open the rear, there's a button on the driver's side door, or alternatively you can press it on the key and it'll open the boot. As you can see over here, the boot just about fits my Samsonite bag and leaves just a little bit of space for some camera equipment on the right hand side. So very much limited space, and it's to be expected in a Roadster type of car. There's no front space like you'd find it on a Tesla. Now moving on to the interior space, it's actually very limited, and I was a little bit disappointed here because I would like to store some stuff around the car. However, I was much limited in terms of what I could, where I could actually put my things. So just one thing to bear in mind if you're going to be getting a car. Moving in to comfort. Now the comfort of the car, I must say, not only sitting in a car did I feel that I was in a sports vehicle, but I also felt that the car was beautifully designed. It's available in different trims, and you can see over here we've got a nice sort of white, beige and a blue trim all together, and it looks fantastic and really goes well with the car. Especially the blue trim around the steering wheel, it just adds that little extra touch which I really love. So no complaints in terms of interior design. The BMW have done a fantastic job. I just want to point out one small thing in the car, and that's actually to do with a little knob that's on the center console. That is pretty much accustomed to most BMW owners with iDrive on it, but what I quite liked is its clicky nature and the fact you could actually draw letters on it. Yes, actually draw letters on it. And you might wonder, why on earth would you want that? Well, if you're typing in something for navigation, as you'll be able to see over here, you'll be able to see that you can draw letters and therefore it would pick it up, which is really great if you want to quickly input an address without having to scroll through every single letter on the alphabet. Very easy to do, and even with my terrible handwriting it picked it up very flawlessly. So good job BMW for integrating not a fundamental thing that you need, but something nice to have. Now if you're wondering about that rear deflector shield, that can be adjusted as well. It automatically comes up to around 30mm when you first turn on the car. However, that can be adjusted. I find it to be quite useful, especially when you're going at high speeds. Now finally, in terms of the comfort, it's also worth mentioning those doors. You might think that those big doors are going to require a lot of force to open and close. However, that's not the case, because these doors are very light and easy. As you were able to see over there, I was able to open it with my right hand by simply pressing the button. Closing and opening it from the outside as well is very easy, and it's a very seamless design. Fantastic job again by BMW. Now, as for the infotainment system, I was very much impressed. It was responsive, supported multi-touch input, which is great in terms of maps. If you want to look at sort of a 3D view of the maps, you'll be able to do so with that. And just generally, the way that the BMW had laid out the infotainment system was pretty intuitive. There were certain elements which I found a little bit hard to get to. For example, how to pair your Bluetooth phone to the device, or even customize the EQ. But overall, on the whole, BMW have done a great job. No real complaints about it, other than the fact that it's included, and the touchscreen display is easy to access even as a driver or even if as a passenger in there. And of course, you can go through all your driving settings through this as well. And if you don't really like touchscreen displays, you can always use that center console dial as well. As for the heads-up display, there is one, and it's beautiful because it adjusts to your driving style. So if you change in terms of comfort mode or sport mode, it will automatically adjust and change color, and also change on the heads-up display. Very intuitive, and again, let alone another small point, but it actually makes a big difference. As for parking sensors, you've got a nice top-down view of the car. As you can see, Emma was driving the car as we're doing this, and here reversing, you've got a rear-facing camera as well, and you've got a front-facing camera. Once you're in park, there's a little button on the center console which you simply press and you see the front. And finally, in terms of comfort, let's see how the car sounds. Here's my live commentary while we're driving. Just wanted to showcase the sound inside the cabin, so I'll just go quiet for a little bit. As you can hear, it's really minimal. There's no A-pillar noises that I can hear, and well, obviously we've got the roof on at the moment, and it's pretty quiet. Oh, and in case you're wondering, that 3-cylinder 1.5 litre petrol engine does sound good when it's actuated. Of course, you can use this in electric mode as well, so do bear that in mind. Here's a little demo. This perfectly leads me onto the driving experience of the car. So when it comes to performance, the BMW i8 Roadster is a heap of fun to drive. It's got instant acceleration when you put your foot down on the gas pedal due to the electric motor, but then that engine kicks in and throws you forwards like there's no tomorrow. Of course, it's not going to give you the same sort of excitement of a full-on petrol, let's say like a 911 or even my BMW M3 at home. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of prefer that sort of funness to it. However, when it comes to control, going around bends, the grip this thing has, the way the weight distribution works, where even the batteries are positioned at the bottom of the car, it means the car is really planted on the ground and allows you to drive around corners like I'm going to do now in a controlled manner. Honestly, it's a fantastic car to drive, really, really fun. And I quite like the fact that you've got the different modes. You've got the performance mode, which we're in right now. Gives it that slight little bit of roar, which I'll just try to demonstrate now. So you've got that sort of roar that goes to it. But then if you want to save some energy, you want to go onto electric mode, just move the gear lever from left to right, and it switches to the electric mode. Now, electric modes, you've got two modes. You've got Comfort and you've got Eco Pro. Eco Pro saves you a lot of energy and is made for your city driving to be ultra quiet, and of course with this you don't have any noise because it's all electric. But then if you want to go that step further, you press the eDrive mode as well, and that eDrive mode just makes it just even better in that respect. So it's really nice to see the hybrid technology working simultaneously together. It's beautiful, it works flawlessly, and the fact that you can have that performance I'll say at your footsteps, but we're not at home really. At your footsteps, at your disposal, anytime you want, and yet you can also save energy, help the environment by being all electric, then you can do so. So in terms of performance, I've got absolutely no complaints, but it's not going to really appeal to the thrill seekers out there which really want something that's roaring around the track. So one more thing I want to mention is the dials changing color when I change from sport mode, or if I dial it back into comfort mode or e-drive mode. I did mention the heads-up display which changes, but also I just want to showcase over here, as you can see, moving into sport mode turns the dials red, which looks pretty cool, and also does serve a purpose to show you that it has changed mode. Now this car is fantastic to drive. It's very nice, it's very comfortable, it sits down to the road pretty well and offers that perfect hybrid experience. You can drive it super quietly in electric mode, or have the hybrid kick in and have that extra power. Speaking of which, the BMW i8 Roadster delivers 374 horsepower combined. Now the combustion engine can give you 231 horsepower, while the cell configuration gives you 143 horsepower, which is a 12 horsepower increase over the coupe variant. In case you're wondering, the Roadster is around 60 kilograms heavier, so it's quite impressive that BMW have actually managed to squeeze out this much power. Speaking about the electric mode, the car can drive around 33 miles with zero emissions. Also, the threshold has increased to 75 miles per hour, which is fantastic if you want to drive a little bit faster speeds, or even in the motorways in the UK. Now, in terms of the responsiveness of the i8, it gets from 0 to 62 in 4.6 seconds, and it is obviously electronically limited to 155 miles per hour. Oh, and that gearbox? It runs a 6-speed Steptronic transmission which runs seamlessly through the gears. You can paddle shift, or you can also use the stick shift if you so wish. Now this leads me on to the conclusion of my overall verdict. And the BMW i8 Roadster is no cheap car. Starting for around £124,000, it's very expensive. However, it's a one-of-a-kind car. It's one that will deliver performance, but yet also be green when it needs to be. You can drive it very silently through the streets, but then ramp it up into sport mode and drive in the motorway with a little bit of a grunt behind it. So yes, it might be expensive, but a BMW i8 Roadster really combines that hybrid blend to perfection. It's got a beautiful exterior and interior and all the right performance characteristics. So that's been my review of the BMW i8 Roadster. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe. And finally, I'd like to send a thanks to BMW and everyone that was involved in this press trip for making this press trip an amazing experience. I've been totally dubbed, guys. Take care and bye-bye.